This is Silly Point, an Inside Etown podcast.
So one of the things, again, I want to pick the brains of the captains. I spoke to you, Merlin, I think it might have been a couple of days before the game, thinking that I was worrying and being a bit nervous because I was undercooked, because I'd played a lot of cricket. First time finalist. Was you a first time finalist as well?
No, I played in, I don't think I played anything as high profile as that. I played in a couple of business houses league, which is like the midweek 20 over competition in Liverpool. Played a couple of cup finals there, but nothing as big as the Hampson Cup final. Yeah.
So,
did
with that in mind, first time finalist, I was really quite nervous. Do you kind of have any, like, did you have any reservations or any special plans for first time finalists? And I owe that to you as well, Karl, obviously captain in the cup finals.
Not particularly, mostly because I'd seen all season what people can do. So, like I said in the changing rooms at the beginning, when we go on the field, I don't want you to imagine it as a cup final. Treat it like any other league game that we've played this season. Same rules, same teams, same things you've got to do. And at the end of the day, it was my biggest thing was try to take the pressure off the players. Try to take the pressure away from the likes of you and Chris and other people that hadn't played in cup finals and stuff like that.
Big Pete was one as
Big
well.
Pete,
yeah.
Bring it more towards myself. Nick Cross has played in some cup finals with me at Earlestown. Toddy's played in big pressure games like that. So it was more just trying to make the likes of yourself and that feel more at ease that there was no expectations of this is down to you type of thing. I'm expecting you to win this game for me. The more I can take the pressure to myself and my senior players, the easier I think it makes for first time finalists to enjoy the game, because you have your conversations with your toddies, with your ADs, with your crosses, and it's like, right guys, we've got to step up and lead from the front type of thing. And as newbies in finals and stuff like that, if you can see that your senior players are stepping up and taking the responsibility, it takes that weight off your shoulders type of thing. So that was my only plan going into that game. I was just going to try and shift as much of the pressure away from you guys towards myself. And obviously I'd spoke to Karl before the final and we talked about some field settings and maybe not being as attacking as I like to be.
You don't have to put that. It took me a long time to learn that. It's probably Fletch that really ultimately gave me the elbow for that, because I was doing baseball before baseball was a thing, because we weren't very good, so we were probably going to get beat when I first took over. Let's have a crack at it. Let's go and have a bash. If we get if we get to 200, great. If we don't, then we're going to end up in the pub, win or lose anyway. So, what was the point in trying to be conservative with field placing or with batting order or whatever? We'd always just go out there and it was there to be it, smack it, and I'll give you some fielding positions that'll take catches and you just bowl in them areas. But this win-lose cricket, there's no, and especially the way we play it, where there's no fielding restrictions, there's no power plays, so you could literally have all of your fielders out, make them either run themselves to death or hit fours and six. That what they're going to do. That's you don't have to. I mean, we did bowl them out, but they could have been 159 into the last over, and you bowl a maiden and you've won, and they might still have 6 wickets in hand or whatever. You've still won the game. That's all you had to do. Mm-hmm. So I think when the games, because obviously I've not watched a lot of second team cricket up until this year, not been able to play that much myself. So I've watched a lot, and it's just been a bit, why's he got him there? I know you like your quirky positions and stuff, but it just felt like you can give too many runs away sometimes, and then let the batting team get a bit of momentum going, trying to take wickets, which is obviously what we try. That ultimately is the goal, but it doesn't have to be in win-lose 40 over cricket. Just be you might call it negative, but just strangle them. Then you make them play shots that they wouldn't normally play, like you mentioned before, just by having them back. And that's really all we talked about. But that was, I've noticed it more watching cricket since I've not been playing. You see a different game, don't you? You'll know you've scored and stuff, and especially when it's your own team, because you're still my club. I was delighted that we won the cup at Win Stanley, but paying more attention to it, because it's also, I'll be thinking, why is he there, and it's natural to say, well, I wouldn't do that, or I wouldn't have done that. But I also, on the other side, I've looked at games and gone, I could see what he was thinking there. But I felt like there was a couple of games where you'd done the same, where you had so many men in, even like not very well executed shots were going over into a gap and going for 4. I was thinking, well, if you'd have had someone there, that's one. And that's pressure then.
But part of the unexpected, i.e. fielding positions, is the batsman is also sat there thinking, why is he? What sort of ball's he bowling if he thinks I'm going to put one there?
See, I listened to Mill say that before, and I sort of, there's a part of me disagrees with that. I think at our level, first or second team, I don't think there's that many players who will pick a gap. I think most of our players in our league, hit the ball, will just hit the ball, they'll play that shot, and it's up to you. You need players in that position to take a catch, but I don't think there's as many as you think will be looking to nudge into a gap. Yeah, if you make an obvious gap, if you don't have, I tend a lot of the time wouldn't have anybody straight for someone who was looking to play straight early on, to maybe get them to drive, to take a chance in slip or gully or whatever, to give them that gap, make it obvious. And yeah, sometimes the bowler would look at me going, just been it for 2 fours. I'd be like, just keep it there. That's kind of what we want.
Yeah.
But then obviously if it's a good batsman and he's driving, driving well, then you change that quickly, you're reacting to that, like you said. But I still think a lot of lads just play the shot, they play the ball, they don't necessarily play the field.
But again, and
so that's another podcast.
Yeah, one of the advantages you had in the second is the unconventional bowler, because you get out there and you're in a rhythm, and you've got your swing going, you've got your timing going.
What are you on about?
And then you put on an
name names.
What, Dan?
I'm not unconventional.
Shane on. I mean, you've got bowlers that the ball isn't going to come through at the same speed. It's going to come through on a slightly different angle, because the bowler can at times be slightly erratic. They're not sure where the ball's going to land, so they're having to wait, and that gets you wickets. So the second team winning that game, it wasn't a surprise, although they started off, yes it was, and then how the opposition rallied in the middle. They rallied in the middle of it a little bit as well. But you had the bowlers to come on and not be the same as the last bowler, be different, and it got you wickets. Not necessarily with that bowler, but when you put your main strike bowler back on again, guess what? He got wickets. So and obviously Toddy.
Yeah. So going off, we talked a lot about the batsmen, but on the bowler performances. So I know Karl said before he saw 160 male and thought, I'm not sure we've got enough.
No.
What did you think? So after that batting performance, when you were going out, did you think that was more than enough?
So I already knew in the back of my mind, I knew what my field placings were going to be for the 3 batsmen that get all their runs.
Yep.
I knew already that I was going to have people blocking them scoring opportunities. So I was saying all the time, 120 here and this is on. And then we got to 130 and it was like, it was when it got to 160, I thought, with the bowlers we've got, and the idea I've got in my head for their 3 batsmen that they're going to rely on to get their runs, I'd already planned for their batsmen, and I thought 160 on that track, on that day, with the bowlers I had, I more than thought 160 was enough for us. I was confident that my bowlers would take them wicket.
They've scored runs against us this season. And
They have,
I know we've been on top, but I don't think.
They
I
have.
think more to do with it's that
What was-
ground and that pitch,
They have.
especially for twos cricket as well.
But the big scores they've got to put on against us was here, when the outfield was like lightning,
And when we played them
and
in
played
stupidly
them
hot
at their
weather,
place where
35-degree heat.
What was
isn't
it?
the
it?
ground was like
Yeah.
concrete, and the shortest boundary is something like 15 metres from
Yes.
the track.
What was your train of thought when the big right-hander came out and took a left-handed guard?
So you want a whiskey as well? I don't remember.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, it's Halloween, just in case you wonder.
To be fair, the one batsman that I was really concerned with wasn't their 3 big
I
hitters.
know what you're going to
No.
say. Yeah.
It was Chacho Bob,
Yeah.
Captain Jack with bandana,
Yeah.
because he's had the Uda was on us this.
He has.
He's
He's
scored.
the one that
He's
Jimmy-
scored a 50 in every game against us
He's
this
the one
season
that
before
scored
the
all the
final.
runs against us. So, but again, he's another one that if you can get at him early,
Yeah.
he doesn't look comfortable for his first.
And you talked about the newbies and the nerves. I think was it the semi-final.
It
here that I
was,
spoke to
yeah.
you. I could see you were pacing up and down like nobody's business, and I said, look, you just got to enjoy it. You can't stress your way through it. But we're probably overlooking the nerves of them in the final.
Mm.
With a 160 to chase, whether I thought it was enough or it wasn't, it doesn't matter what I felt. But what were they thinking?
Mm-hmm.
What did they think in their dressing room? Did they think, well,
I think that's.
we've got the players, but maybe like, is it Jimmy that got the runs? It meant Jimmy Mentor
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, Jimmy meant
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe he thought this is on me. It's a lot of pressure. The first cup final we got in, that was at where's the pond?
Esketh Bank.
Esketh Bank. I looked at that team that day and I thought, if I don't score runs here, we're knackered. And I got out for 10, I think.
Mm.
So there's a pressure that you put. Maybe that guy, and he wasn't even their captain, but maybe he sat there putting his pads on and thought, if I don't do it today, we're not going to do it. Maybe he's looked at the dressing room and thought, well, he's got no runs in him. He might.
Well,
Plus as well, I mean, we played them 3 times this season before, including the semi-final,
Yeah.
and beat them. I mean, it was only the fact that the other 2 teams played
Ineligible players.
ineligible players
Yeah.
and were therefore kicked out of the competition that they were actually got through to the final anyway.
Well,
Very village.
that's my main concern on the day was Jimmy, because all of the games that we played, Chris the skipper, he can hit a big ball,
Yeah.
but he didn't score big runs against us.
No.
No.
He got a 20 here and he got a 16 there.
He got a dubious LB, didn't he? And this was at the semi or the cup game.
It was the semi-final.
Semi.
Yeah.
He got one
So-
that was, he didn't agree with.
And the
That
same
wasn't a
with
good angle to see.
Did I give it?
the same with
No, it was
Liam, the
actually
keeper. He's the same. He scored.
Liam.
He hit some big balls against us and scored a quick 20,
20,
25.
Mm.
He didn't hang around and hit a 60 or a 70 against us. So he's one of them that you know at some point he's gonna haul out to somebody in the deep. He's just in.
Just not crossing.
He did it here. He did it at their place. He hauled out to me, and he did it in the.
In the
Cup final,
semi-final,
he-
both of them holed out in the same place.
Yeah.
You caught Liam on the boundary at Cow, and I caught Chris on the boundary
Yeah.
at Long On.
So you know you're going to get chances with them. Whereas Jimmy seems to be once he's in, he hits a lot of the ball along the floor,
It's hard to
and you
get
can't
out.
catch him if he's hitting it along the floor.
I tell you what, though, Will kind of nailed it. The bowling attack we had for that cup final was a heck of a bowling attack.
Yeah.
Toddy,
Yeah.
me, you, Sadaku, Dan. I missed someone else, because someone else bowled as well.
Harry bowled, didn't he?
Harry
Don't talk to him about that though.
H bowled as well.
There was Kersey that you can throw the ball to.
Yeah.
Harry McCormick, specialist fielder and Earlestown Griffins captain.
Right, Harry, welcome to Meet the Players. So you're one of the younger guns at the club. So I'd be interested to know what first got you into cricket.
I think I played at school. I can't remember, to be honest. But I do remember it was bad. I did end up as a kid at Sutton for a couple of years. But then it was after lockdown. My dad always played as well, and it was after lockdown I just come down here. And the rest is history.
So it was a COVID thing, you just wanted to move?
It was something to do. And then some drinking as well.
Obviously that's a very important part of your preparation, but we'll get to that. So at the start of the season, many people set themselves goals. Did you set yourself any, and did you meet them?
To be fair, it was probably trying to keep up with the Griffins, because obviously they're the better team coming into the role this year, and then try and play as many Saturdays, not hungover as well. That's probably about it.
It's been, in your quite short career so far, you've won a lot of stuff. But what would you say has been your most memorable moment on the field so far?
There's quite a few. I was thinking about it this morning in the shower, to be honest. There's obviously, we won the Hampson Cup, but there was the semi-final of that year as well. I think we only scored about 100, and that was a close game. I ended up dropping one that hit me in the face from about 10 stories up. Then I took the catch, and then Platty took that winning catch. That was a good day. And then obviously the Hampson Cup, that was a cracking day. Then a good night as well, to be honest. I think I took the trophy lid home with me in bed. And obviously this year, the Hampson Cup was quite good as well, because I actually contributed in that a bit more as well. So that's been a few. And obviously this little thing next to me, not like to mention it.
Well, not everyone watching the podcast will be familiar with that.
St Helens, last man stands, the league champions, captain by myself.
I'm sure George won't be having a word with you about that.
That was the illness.
So whenever you play a game, obviously we know you, like myself, you're a big Saints fan, home and away. But are there any kind of specific things that you do to prepare mentally or physically for a big game? Any rituals or superstitions while you're at it as well? I'm very superstitious.
Try and get a couple of hours sleep at least, because I have played ones where I've only had about 2 hours sleep, and so don't miss my alarm. And make sure my mum's eyeing me stuff as well the night before, so I don't have my either in the morning. And then all it is a Mackey's for line the stomach after a night out, and then meal deal and come here and see what happens.
Yeah, people watching the cricket podcast are actually getting a hangover cure.
Yeah. Hangover. I don't get hangovers, just get tired.
Finally, Harry, if you could have any cricketer, past or present, play one game for Etown, who would you say it would be?
I don't know, actually. I've been thinking about this, because a lot of people are good at similar. I'd say like James Anderson, somebody quick, so they can bowl them out so we can get off fielding quicker. That's probably about it, and then let them open batting and see what they can do with that.
Yeah, I thought you was going to say Freddie, given his...
Oh yeah, Freddie as well, but I think if you will say Freddie, so far, give it Jimmy.
Yeah, two so far. Right, well that's been another episode of Meet the Players. Well done, Harry, and well done on a fantastic season.
Thank you very much. Take care.
So just for that cup final, that's it.
I think as well, we said before, didn't we, that none of you, except for Dan, played the Saturday.
Yeah.
And they didn't have that luxury. I think probably all of those players were coming back off a fairly heavy game. I think
there was only two. They said there was only two who didn't play on the Saturday who played in the cup final.
I think they said they played till 7:45.
They did,
so it's, maybe the freshness.
Oh yeah, because they were at Egbert, weren't they? They had to play till 7:45 because of the weather.
Perhaps we could just send a thank you to Egbert then.
It's not going that far.
You won't be getting that out of Chris.
Let's go that far.
I think you've kind of touched upon this, and I remember this really, really clearly, and I'm sure you will as well, Chris. Like you said, we come in after the batting innings, and we sat down, and you said, just listen to that silence. There was nothing from next door. Yeah. We was all fired up and ready to go out.
Yeah.
And it did feel as though they thought that 160 might trouble them quite a bit. There was silence. Like,
I think the start you made is that if you got off to a great start and got 160, that attitude would have been different, even though it's the same score.
Yeah.
It's the fact that they kind of must have felt it let us off the hook.
Yeah.
And maybe getting the main players who'd cause them trouble in the season, in the league games, especially,
They celebrated massively
them out.
when they got Merlin out and when they got Kersey out.
Yeah.
Kersey got 100 in the semi-final against, and that won us the game.
We did win
Well,
us again that day.
when I came off, I don't know who it was I said it to, but I came off and said, I'm gutted I'm out, but that might do us a favour.
Yeah.
Because they might just take the foot off the gas.
And they
I
did.
did hear
And
you
they
say
did.
that.
They did, they took the foot
Yeah.
off the gas because they must have thought he's been a pain in the arse. I think I'd scored over 200 runs against him this season in 3 games. And they got me for 6 or something like that, and they must have thought, oh, we've got this. Get Kersey and that's it. And we ended up putting 160 on the board. And
I'll tell you what, Mel, I love you to bits, but I was standing next to Karl when you played that shot to get out. I'm not going to repeat what was being said at that point.
You could, but you'd have to bleep it out.
Oh,
he got away with one, I think.
Got away with
same
one, yeah.
over or the over before at that end. You think I've done it. Did it myself. That final I was on about before. Got dropped playing a shot, and then played the same shot 2 overs later and got caught the second time.
Yeah.
You're walking off going, but that's your
it's just my
that's
game.
your thing, isn't it?
It stirred in my
That's
slot
your
to it,
shot.
so I went for it.
Toddy, the thing is, Toddy bowled well. He didn't really take many wickets, but
Took one.
because of, as you said, the name of Todd, they didn't know what to do. They weren't really going for him. They didn't want to just see him off and block him out, but they also didn't want to try and hit him either. So they didn't really know what to do with him. I know Toddy struggled as well, just because the outfield, especially the bowlers' run-ups, was still really wet. And you know Todd needs a decent run-up to get that pace through.
I know I feel gully, and I was a good 15 yards deeper than normally.
That moved you
I
back.
felt sorry for Todd as well, because even with that pitch, it wasn't coming on. He was putting all the effort in. As soon as it was hitting the pitch, because of the moisture, all the zip was coming out of it, and Toddy likes to bowl that good length, maybe just short of the good length, and it was every now and then it was just sitting up and
scoreboard pressure though, wasn't it?
It was.
Obviously, he didn't take many wickets, but he scored 25 and really pinned them back. That was kind of the spell where
20, is that all he got? 25? He got more than that, didn't he?
I thought he got 25.
Sure, he got more than that. 35 at least.
Who told?
Surely.
I'm not sure, but it was it was
Todd
vital. It was all vital.
Todd had a decent score.
Yeah,
Sadaku got 20 off.
everyone,
as you said, that
kind
middle
of
order
rallied.
all
The middle
chipped
order
in
rallied.
15 to
34.
34.
Kersey got 25.
That was Kersey I was thinking of them.
Merle 6, Crossy 1, Sadaku 26, Todd 34, Peter first bowler, AD 13, which was a decent
Really
mark.
vital innings.
Harry got 14, Steve O'Donnell 10, Dan 3 and Chris 3. Not out.
Yeah.
But can I just say that one of those 3 was a scoop?
No, God.
26 extras.
Yeah, they
And
they bowled a lot of
wides,
wides.
like side wides.
How many do you think we bowled? How many extras did we give away?
I don't
About
think we bowled
32,
too many. If
33.
anything, it would
It
have
was-
been
it
buys
was
to the
quite a
keeper,
few.
would have been.
16.
16.
16?
Mm.
Oh, right.
Going
It
to
seemed
this.
a lot.
Seemed a lot because of the conditions.
Because of that wet patch halfway down at wicket.
Yeah.
15. One leg by 15 wides.
Yeah.
Going to this.
It didn't feel like we gave that many away, but and I think that's one of the big differences in that cup final, because on a Saturday, someone who's as guilty of this as anyone,
Leg side wide.
tossing
Leg side
one down
wide,
leg,
yeah.
it's like, oh well, next ball in the cup final.
Proper paid umpires, you've got.
That's it, and
Even if it misses top of leg stump by an inch,
it's still a leg
still
side
down
wide.
leg
Yeah, that is something that is difficult to prepare for. Obviously, in a strange way, playing LMS kind of prepares you for that more than playing on a Saturday, because anything down leg in an LMS is a wide. Obviously, you don't get 25 runs added on for more than for
the thing
wides or
is,
whatever.
the other thing I will say is, I think as a team for the seconds, the fielding got better, I think, as the season went on. Yeah, we still dropped the odd catch, but at the start of the season, we were dropping a lot more, and we weren't kind of at it. And I know at the start of the season, you did say a fair few times, there are times, boys, where it feels like people are just switching off in the field and not.
30 overs,
People were just looking, and as we were getting further on into the season, people were getting more aware of that, shall we say, and were a lot more alive. And I think we only dropped one catch in that cup final, Thanks, Mick.
Yeah, thanks, Mick.
Crop it was.
And it would have won us the
catch.
game earlier if he would have taken it. So, but yeah, we just seem to. What is it? Because again, kind of a slight tangent, but in the 2 seasons I've been here, the twos seem to start really slowly, but then at the back end of the season, we'll go 7, 8, 9, 10 matches unbeaten. It's weird.
They're a warm weather team.
Not last season. There was no warm weather
feel
last
like
season.
as on the outside of it, I feel like sometimes the seconds think they're I want to say think they're better than they are in terms of the league. I think there's an expectation that the seconds can win that league, and I think maybe there should be in terms of this is where this is what the target should be. But I think when we start the season, I think we expect to win, and it's not always the case. Some of the games some of the games are lost early in the season. You're like, how? You're looking in the group when we're not playing, and you're thinking, oh, seconds have pissed that, and then you're like, someone will go, oh, the seconds got beat us. Like,
They lost it by a run or 2 runs.
so I think it's maybe they're a bit cold at the beginning, and the expectation is to win those games.
There was a few games where
It's there.
There was a few games where, like I said,
It's
it seemed that when it got to 30 overs, people started cloud watching or thinking about what they was going to do at tees or whatever it was. And there was a few times where we had teams like 48 for 5 after 30 overs.
Yeah.
And then next minute to 140.
Yeah.
Because people had just completely gone to sleep.
Switched off.
People then getting lazy in the field, either not chasing the ball down all the way to the boundary or letting it through the legs or trying to stop it with the feet and stuff like that, and doing that.
Yeah, but then you have got fielders that can't bend over.
Doing that a couple of times in an over for 10 overs, all of a sudden there's an extra 80, 90 runs off.
And it's difficult to wrestle that momentum back as well once you lose it.
Whereas, like you said, after like the 5th or 6th game, it all kind of like clicked into gear, and everybody was like, right, we've got to stay switched on now, because we were losing games by 4 runs here or 6 runs there. Or
would you say that Cup Final 11 was, apart from Stewie who was unavailable, was that around about the 11 you would pick every week if available?
I'm not sure, because I've got Suraj for come back into that team, but I'd say 9 of the 11 would be pretty nailed on to start every week.
It was a strong team.
It's
stronger than a lot of teams that we've had in the first team over the years. Obviously not the last 3 or 4 seasons, but before that, some of the teams I've run out with, the seconds would absolutely annihilate them.
But during the league season, you're not going to see AH play much on the Saturday, so Stu Pryor would come straight back in for him, and then you're looking at Suraj coming in.
He's a good omen though, isn't he, Harry?
Toddy as well, because
Harry took a blinding catch in the semi-final when we got to the Burskell final.
Yeah.
And contributed in the field, especially in the final of that. But he's like he's a bit of a good luck charm, and so I think he's probably nailed on to get in your cup team.
Semi-final against Bedford Park, went in for 1 ball.
Smacked
I
it.
know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And he did. He smacked it for 4, and then in the final, the catch he took to get the first wicket off me was a great, not easy, low down, diving at the
Did he hit 2 fours batting as well?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
It's got
Yeah.
14,
Yeah.
didn't you say?
Yeah.
I
And
think
fair play to Harry. He played sober that game as well, because he made sure he didn't drink the day
From
before.
At least his
your,
mum would come with him, and she's
From your sort of progression of the team during the season and culminating in that final, what I've noticed is, and you're dead right, the concentration dropped after tea or just after 30 overs. The concentration would go, whereas at the start of the season, it wasn't really there from the start. You know, it wasn't a case of they switched off. They never switched on. They weren't. There was nobody doing the. And towards the end they weren't, but they were alert. They weren't walking in as the bowler was coming in. They weren't moving as the ball was being hit. They weren't moving towards the ball, as opposed to running across to the ball.
I think
So the other teams were getting that extra one run
I think
because
some of that comes down to
confidence.
well, some of these lads are only picking the game up in the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
The likes of myself, Karl,
Mm.
Dan's played for a few years now, but especially me and Karl, I've been playing the game since I was 10.
Yeah.
Through school. Obviously I played with my dad on the field and whatnot.
Mm.
But actually playing on a pitch, on a wicket, I've been playing for 37 years.
Mm.
So walking in and stuff like that is just something that naturally, you don't even think about it.
Yeah.
You walk in with the ball running up and you just do it naturally and you set yourself ready to take a catch if you're in a fielding position, like a catching position. Some of the guys that are coming in that haven't played the game for that long, it's not second nature.
No.
It is something that they will think about doing it for 2 or 3 balls in the over and then it's gone type of thing, and they do just stand there waiting for the ball to come to him instead of waiting and expecting the ball to come to him.
Yeah.
But that only comes the more and more you play. The more and more you play, and the more they play LMS cricket, because you've got to be on your toes playing midweek. I think slowly that'll filter through and it will get better.
Right, we've been accused on this podcast of selling out, and I'd just like to assure you all, listeners, viewers, contributors, that we have not sold out. But what we do now normally is, at this time on the podcast, we have a Pimlets pie. And this episode of Silly Point is in association with Pimlets, and we thank them very much for their sponsorship and for being a well-known brand in the local area for many years.
Pretty sure it'll get
Well, I
better.
mean, it's like when the year we won the first won the league, and I took that catch to get their, I didn't know it, but their main strike batsman out. I mean, that was because you said to me, "What were you doing there?" I didn't put you there, but that was, but that was me. Well, that was his shot, and he kept playing it, and I thought, "You've hit it down there twice. You ain't hitting it down there a third time." So I just didn't come over. I mean, Big
It was
Dave
bad
round
bowling.
it was because I didn't have the
It
because
was
I'd
bad
run the
bowling.
boundary twice. I didn't have the breath to walk back to where I was. But
It was
It
bad
was-
bowling. That's why you weren't in that position. I don't like setting
yeah,
fields to bad bowling, and you
No.
kept doing it,
yeah,
and that's why I kept hitting it there, because it was shit bowling. So,
yeah. But
but a great catch, probably one of my favourite moments, because we'd not long before that had taped your mouth up in the changing room.
you had.
We might need to do that on this podcast as well if we want to kind of draw to a conclusion.
Will's got a great pair of hands because he played for the Twos last season. I
Goose
think it was
Green.
Goose Green
Goose
away,
Green, yeah.
and the ball went high into the air, and I was like, no. Will literally just. And it did.
And there was a very grateful bowler.
Yeah, it was a very grateful ball.
Well,
but it
in
went
fairness,
so high, and it
That
just
was
like a
that was
dolly.
the second time, because the first time I juggled it and actually caught it by my ankle.
Yeah.
It went through my hands, off my arm, and I caught it down there. But,
Still a very grateful bowler.
yeah, but
If
yeah.
we can kind of just start driving towards the finishing line now, I mean, I could
I'm
talk
starting.
about this topic for hours and
Yeah.
have to some people. Like, is that as good a cup final performance as you can wish for? Obviously, it's not perfect, but perfection doesn't exist in sport, does it? It's, to me, it
Perfect. I
felt
think it's
like
pretty perfect.
everyone contributed, everyone did their bit, if not with the bat, with the ball, if not with the bat or the ball in the field. It felt like everyone
It was a good team
contributed.
performance.
It was a very, very
Very
good team
very
performance.
professional.
everyone
team
backed
performance.
it. I mean, even if in the field they didn't do a lot, they were backing one another. They were clapping. They were sort of talking to one another
I don't
and
think
talking
there
the team forward.
I don't think there was anybody that didn't contribute, was there?
Crosser.
But he went off sick to let Reece on.
Yeah, let Reece come on for it.
There you go. Take
Redeemed
Crossy takes him
himself.
on for the team. There you go.
Redeemed himself.
And he
I think-
did it one run, and
He
they
dropped the only catch of the game that made it memorable.
Yes, and without that, I don't have my moments. So
So, yeah, so there you go. So he's
my eternal gratitude, if not Harry's.
The batsmen stepped up when they needed to.
Yeah,
It was a,
Which-
it was
which-
a very good team performance.
Which, as you said, Carl, the middle order hasn't really done that or had to do that this season, but they did, and the bowlers did what they needed to do. You know, me and Toddy opened, kept it tight. You had Merle, you had Sadaku, Dan came on at the end, Harry came on and did what he needed to do, and It was just a really
And
tight
even
performance.
behind the stumps, Pete took a catch, maybe two. He
Mm.
took a stump in, he took a run out.
And he was winding the batsman up something ruthless with Kersey as well.
Well,
And that's what you need.
Again, I can't believe that Kersey would do such a thing.
Yeah.
But when you look at the spectrum of the performance,
Yeah.
it was just
Yeah.
everyone did something. Everyone played the part, and
As for the actual win itself, up to that cup final, one of my favourite moments ever was the cup final that we played in the Potching Cup, because I was vice captain for that, and that was a special moment. I enjoyed that, 100% enjoyed that. They thought they had us done in that cup final, but from a personal point of view, this time I got to lift it.
Yeah.
I was captain this time. So they're both pretty much on even keel.
that smile tells me everything
But-
that I need to know about
Carl,
how that feels.
Carl knows what he's trying to get.
Listen,
at.
I was proud as a spectator, pissed up or otherwise. I was immensely proud, and I would have been if we'd have lost. The fact that we got there, and I know there was circumstances around us getting there or whatever. In
Well, no,
terms of
we got there on our own
we got
right. It was the
first.
opposition that.
Yeah, it was the
did
other
we have a
team.
bye in the first round?
We did get a back,
Yeah,
yes,
we-
Egbert
so-
conceded,
Egbert
yes.
conceded.
So it did, but yeah, I just think like the fans that were there, supporters, the families that made a day of it, and yeah, it was amazing. It was great to see, and like I say, I'm glad. I feel a little bit better now. Chris said actually he feels like I made an impact
Definitely did.
against them, but because that was the idea. But it was a great day for the club. I said before I finished when we had one team, I said before I considered retiring, I wanted the second team back. That
Yeah.
was what I wanted. That was what I was
Yeah.
desperate for.
It was.
And
Yeah.
I don't, I'm not saying I deserve more credit than anyone else, but I was almost outvoted when we decided to go for it. There was a lot of concern about conceding games, not being ready, and I was like, if we don't do it now, I don't think we ever will. And we chanced it, and we got, we met all these new people that came in for the opportunity to play second team cricket, and I think it was a pretty good culmination of what we've tried to do over the last 3 years, is it, that we've had it
That
going?
was the fourth. That I just
Fourth.
completed
Fourth
mine.
year. So,
Fourth season.
and
Yeah.
like we said, all the times when we've had 20 odd missing, 30 odd missing, and we've still, so I think that was great for the players, even the ones that have been involved, Priors and Fletch in the second team setup, that couldn't play that day or didn't play that day.
Shit, no.
Great for them, really good, but even better for the club, and I was extremely proud and pissed.
Yeah, I mean, from my point, that was my first medal ever. I've not won any medals before, apart from a Billy Allen medal, which
Which
is
is-
pride of place next
Which
to it.
is very nice, yeah. We've not won one for a couple of years. It's getting on my nerves.
So for me, no matter what happens in the future, how many cup finals are playing or don't, I will never ever forget that. That will always be one of the greatest afternoons of my life, always. And to me, that's what the club is about. It's about memories and moments. And even if it's not always going to end with a shiny pot, it might be 20 points where the difference is someone diving just not before.
Yeah.
That's what the club is about to me. It's about moments, not individual moments, although it's great to have those as well. And I was very fortunate that I had an individual moment, which again I will never top. I will never take another winning wicket in a cup final ever.
Never say never.
No.
Well, never
So
say
you
never.
can't say never.
It's
We're
not very
going to
likely.
retain it now, aren't we? That's the
Well,
plan.
that's it. We have a chance to retain.
How did it get back
so
there, by the way? Did I miss that?
Will moved it back at the start of filming.
I think that's a nice place to end it, and it's a really good boost for the club, and I will say it's a nice way to end it.
Yeah.
As Earlestown likes to share the love, I think we did a really good boost on the Winstanley Bar bill as well.
Yes,
Oh,
yeah.
Very much.
Certainly did.
Yeah, and certainly I went through a few bags of crisps, munching nervously between innings, which I know you two would never believe me being nervous and
I mean,
pacing.
even to the point, and again, sort of sums up the club. Neil, the lad from
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he trapped all barefoot
He
watches
did.
as well.
comes. He
Got a lift,
was
didn't it?
he was desperate.
Didn't walk all that way, did he?
No, he was in the car with me and Steve. But we made the effort because we made the effort to make sure he got there. It speaks volumes for.
Didn't he call you skipper?
He did, yeah.
Yeah.
50p.
Got me and Chris mixed up.
I think he got fined for that. Didn't he?
Yeah,
It
he
was
got
the bid.
fined.
Oh, fair play to him. Mel said, just put that much in. No, and I think he threw a tenner in, didn't he?
I know, yeah.
I'm part of this club. And just put a
Yeah.
tenner in, fair
And,
play to him.
Yeah.
again, that perfect.
And again,
illustrates.
for me, a relative newbie to the club, that just seems to be the Etown way.
That is the Etown one.
Up the Etown.
Yeah. So that's a great way to end it.
Nice one, boys.
Fantastic achievement for us all, for the whole club, and we'll be out to defend it next year.
Dan,
Well done, boys.
just get hold of it, see if you
Take
come.
it all.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
I got told off for taking it off.